What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and today I'm going to go into class building and archetype building. This is a very complicated subject. There's a lot to get into it. I'm really just going to show you mostly about my archer, but the same kind of ideas and thoughts apply to every single class. And I'll give you guys some information on how you should really look into building your class. What is there really that you need to do to build a good kit? Let me tell you, if you're just starting out in the beginning of the game, don't really worry too much about your other weapon stuff. Worry mostly about this right here, the DPS, the damage per second, up until like later levels. This is the most important part at the beginning of the game. And then as you grow into a higher level, once you start reaching level 50, 60, that is when you should really start considering, okay, now it's time for me to really see how to build a good kit together. Let me go through my kit and show you guys how I kind of went through it for my kit here for an archer. There is this website here, and I can give you guys a link. I'll put the link in chat in order to get here, and it does all of the math and calculations for you, so you can see exactly how good your kit will be, and it'll show you exactly how you need to build it if you can build it. It'll show you any set bonuses if you have a set on, and you can look around with your everything that you have, your whole kit. Obviously, you start off with what weapon are you going to use first, and I decided to use the Freedom Bow. It is one of the best mythic bows out there. So I personally like this one because it does do one of every type of damage, so it's really easy to work with. I also have, as you can see on the bottom, 2 water powders and 2 earth powders. So what I can get from this is that I can do all elemental damage, so I want to boost all my elemental damage. Specifically, since I put water and earth powders, I want to boost my water and earth damage. And this isn't for a random reason that I want to do water and earth damage. It's simply because water, if we hover over here, water damage is also very closely related to intelligence, or how much mana you use. Each point in the skill, that is intelligence, will increase your maximum mana. You're able to do more abilities, and the water damage that you inflict. It's very common that people tell you to build with mana, to build with intelligence, because it not only increases your damage, it increases the amount of spells you can use too. It's very, very useful. And then the earth one increases the damage you deal, just overall. So strength is also very good to build. Now dexterity, defense, and agility are all pretty great, which is why I build a something that does all of the damage. Okay, so now that I have a weapon, and I know that the weapon does all elemental damage, let's go into why I pick every single armor piece. Now, starting off with the helmet, it has great health on it and a lot of defense, which is great, exactly what I want as an archer. It has plus 100 water defense, plus 56 thunder defense, and plus 80 earth defense. And the only reason it does have the thunder defense is because I added the thunder powders to it. Now, why would I add thunder powders to it? If I look at my build on here without any powders except for the bow, notice that my thunder defense is negative. This means I will take extra damage from thunder damaging mobs. So if I add thunder powders to my armor, it will increase my thunder defense. So if I add thunder 6 to my Pisces, just like that, my thunder defense gets better, and it can get even better over time if I add more and more powders. So that's great. And why else would I pick this? Well, it gives me plus 10 strength, as you can see down there. And strength, again, is that earth damage that gets increased. Remember, I am building earth and water damage, so that's really good for me. It gives me plus 244 main attack damage, which is just nice to have. Plus 9% main attack damage, which is nice to have. And then this is another one of the great reasons. Plus 17% spell damage. I am specifically building this kit in order to do a lot of spell damage. I want to be able to simply use spells over and over again and not run out of mana. And so I want my spells to do the most amount of damage possible. So for that reason, I will use this helmet because it increases the spell damage I can do. And if you look down below it, it gives me mana regen. And guess what? Plus 13 and 14% of my earth and water damage respectively. So this works perfectly with what I have set on my bow. This is like a perfect helmet for my bow. And moving on to the chest plate. Now, the Libra is kind of just all around very good. It is used on most kits. It's not used on all of the builds, but it's used on most of them. Look, the reason for picking the Libra is quite simple for me. I am building all the damage on all the elements, and guess what? The Libra gives me +7 of everything and damage for every single type of elemental damage. Therefore, it is the best for my kit because that's what I'm building. So I'm just adding on to the damage and to those skill points. Now, if we move on to the Greaves of the Veneer, this one may seem a bit more random. Why wouldn't I use Wayward, for example? Look, if we compare them side by side, the Wayward seems like it's a perfect fit for my kit. But the problem with the Wayward is that, look, I am an archer. I take a lot of damage. I have no self-healing abilities, and so I need some defense. And because I need some defense, I build the Greaves of the Veneer, because this gives me a ton of defense, plus 20 defense. It gives me health and health regen. So there are some caveats you have to have within your build to make sure that you don't just instantly die. I see a lot of people build a lot of damage, which is great, but then they instantly die the second they go into a fight. I can't just use the Wayward, which gives me a ton more damage and stuff. That'll be great, but then I instantly die the second I go into any place. These Greaves of the Veneer, not only do they give me plus 20 defense, they give me health and health regen, and they increase my defense overall. So this is like the one piece of armor that I have to make sure that I don't die. It increases my defense by a lot. This is why I use the Greaves of the Veneer as opposed to something like the Wayward. Okay, and then moving on to the boots, the Capricorn boots are pretty much used in most kits. Capricorn is just very, very good. And let's go into why. Why? It gives decent health. 3250 is pretty decent. It gives a ton of defense of water and air, but it does take away thunder and earth. I already have a lot of thunder and earth defense, so this isn't too much of a concern. I could always just add powders to increase the defense of something. As we saw on this kit builder site, even with the Capricorn removing a lot of thunder and a lot of air, I am still very positive in the air defense. And if I add thunder powders, like 4 thunder powders here, I'm in the positive for all of them. So it shouldn't be too bad. It shouldn't be too tough. Okay, continuing, it gives me plus 12 intelligence and plus 12 agility. The 12 agility is nice to have. It increases my speed and chances to not get hit by a shot, but that's not really why I got this. I got this because of the 12 intelligence. Again, it increases my intelligence, which increases my mana pool and increases the amount of spells I'm able to do. Again, it's building that damage and the ability to redo every spell. And if you look right below it, what is it? It's plus 18% spell damage. 18%, that's a lot of extra damage that my spells are going to be able to do. I am building to have all my spells do all the elemental damage a lot and very fast. And then if you look right before it, it literally just adds on to that. It gives me an additional 15 mana every 5 seconds, just regenerating normally. And if I attack an enemy, I take 3 mana every 3 seconds from that enemy. Okay, and then I have these rings. Again, I build, check out what they have. They have intelligence, which is again the mana that I need to use for my abilities, and then this 12% spell damage, the spell damage on top of both of them. And guess what? They both give me earth damage as well, which is what I'm building. It's perfect for what I'm building. Prowess is very, very decent. I think almost every kit uses the prowess, which you can get from the Kira Hive if you beat it. It's very good, definitely worth it, and especially since I'm fighting with all 5 elements, just increasing all of my stats by 4 also increases my damage output for every single one as well. And then the Diamond Fusion Necklace is just goated. It's very, very good. It gives me plus 15 defense of everything, which is nice to have. Again, I need defense, I'm an archer, and then it gives you +5 of everything again. So now if we look at the amount I have 71 strength, 78 intelligence, 81 defense, 78 agility. Notice my defense is higher than everything else, even though that's not my main attacking, simply because I need to account for the amount of damage I can take. And then my dexterity is the one thing that I haven't built well, but that is okay because it is not what I do the most damage of. So yeah, I built this kit to do water and earth damage, to be able to cycle my spells very quickly. And if I do 2 arrow storms and then arrow bomb, I can do my abilities infinitely without running out of mana. And this kit does absolutely crazy damage. If we look at what it does, just a normal bow shot to 7,500, which isn't even per second. I do 2 shots per second, which is pretty insane since I'm not even really building it. My Phantom Ray, which is my normal ability, does 23,000 per shot, and it only takes 13 mana. My Arrow Bomb takes 19 mana, and it also does 23k, a little bit more. So if I can cycle between these 3 in the span of a few seconds, I can do 100,000 pretty quickly. If I switch over into here and I go fight one of these citizens. Okay, there's a citizen right here. What is up? Lutho Citizen, 100k damage. I use 1 ability, 2 ability, 3 ability, and he's dead. So 100k damage just like that. It's very nice. And look at my mana. My mana is still full. My health is very high up. And if we look at my effective health, 85,000. Now, I'm not sure exactly how effective health works. It calculates how much health you have because of all the defense you have. That is how I built my archer kit. And going into doing it for every class, again, you want to start off with your weapon. Let me switch over to my shaman to show you how I built that one. Again, this one isn't a perfect kit. There's a lot of changes I can make to this one, but let me show you. Again, I have this weapon where, again, it does all elemental damage and it has fast attack speed. And so I kind of just tried to build the same thing. The problem with this is that the weapon has minus 25% spell damage, so I'm trying to get a different weapon. So again, I'm trying to build pretty much the same thing as a freedom bow. Again, it does a ton of damage. It gives me a lot of spell damage and intelligence, and yeah, so it gives me a ton of mana. Very slow attack speed, but it does a lot of damage. So I want to build a Fantasia. Okay, well, thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe. I've gotten like 20 subscribers over the past week. That is really awesome to see. Thank you guys for watching so much and enjoying the videos. I'm going to leave it off here. If there is a specific guide you want me to do for a specific class, like with a certain weapon, if you want me to see the best I can do with this little thing over here, do let me know. I will definitely give it a shot. It's a lot of fun to try to like mess around and get a good kit. I personally really like the multiple elemental damages, although I definitely understand why someone wouldn't use it. Well, anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please do like and subscribe, and I'll catch y'all in the next video. Bye-bye.